very receptive fuels. Fire is going to move fast, it's going to be wind driven. Number one enemy today is the wind. The response has been upgraded today.
I'm able to get a really good idea how big this is. We have open flaming in the middle of a heavily wooded area.
Today is a red flag warning for the city of Aurora and most of the Colorado Front Range and Eastern Plains. If you're unfamiliar with what that term means, it's a warning that's issued by the National Weather Service, and here we have the National Weather Service in Boulder office covering the city of Aurora. They look at a number of factors, but the two that are most important are the relative humidity and the wind speed. Those factors, combined with very dry vegetation, equals very high fire danger. So the risk of any kind of heat, spark, or open flame causing a vegetation fire today is quite high. And for that reason, Aurora Fire Rescue is upstaffing 4 of the Type 6 brush trucks across the district to be out on patrol and be able to quickly respond to emergencies. We're going to head over to briefing right now to get more information on what the day looks like.
All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for signing up for Brush Patrol. Obviously, you can hear it already in the background. Number one enemy today is the wind. So light, flashy fuels, we haven't hit green up yet. Number one priority today is your safety. So it's grass. Let's make sure we're anchor flank pinch from the black. We'll go over the fire weather for the day. Hopefully we've got some luck of the Irish today. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Max temp today, 70 to 74. Minimum humidity down to 8%. So very receptive fuels. Fire is going to move fast. It's going to be wind driven. So please don't be in front of it. Again, that anchor flank and pitch is your primary tactic for the day. We're looking at sustained winds of says 19 to 29 miles an hour with gusts up to 35. This afternoon, a few of the forecasts are saying we could get up to 65 mile an hour winds. It just depends on these wave clouds above us. So a mountain wave cloud is in right now. We'll just see what the afternoon brings. If we could please on a rotational basis, we'll start with brush truck 8. We'll take the first weather at 11 a.m. and every hour you guys will rotate. So 12s will be next, then 13s, then 15s. So every hour on the hour, if you guys would take weather and text it to me and text it to our group, we'll get a group text going. That way we know what our humidities are at and what winds are across the city. The response has been upgraded today to the global response. So you should be independently dispatched from your engines and you should all be on the initial dispatch. For purposes of today and leaders' intent, we do want you out there patrolling, especially this afternoon when the winds are really kicking up. We want you mobile. We don't want you down in the fire station. So please be out there, be mobile, be visible, and be ready to respond at all times. So 15s and 13s south of Jewel, 12s and 8s north of Jewel for your patrol areas. Try to be spread out from each other so that we can cover if a fire comes in somewhere up north, we've got somebody close. But our leader's intent is to be out there, be mobile, be visible for the community, answer questions, and make sure that we have a safe day out there. So primary is a mobile attack. What else do we have on here?
Is this tree on fire? Ditch fire. Ditch in a tree.
Ditch in a tree. Let's go ahead and brush 8 and brush 15. Add yourselves and go.
Go down.
Brush 15, brush 8, and brush 12. You can all go available at 10:23.
It's going on 10:40 a.m. and officially the red flag warning doesn't begin until 11. But just knowing how dry and windy it is, 2 brush trucks did respond to an outside fire with engine 8. That fire was completely extinguished when the engine arrived, so the wildland resources weren't needed.
Stand on.
Send it to
It's just after 3 p.m. We're here at 3rd Avenue and Powhatan Road taking weather. Crews are doing this on the hour to see what conditions are looking like. It's been hotter, drier, and windier as the afternoon goes on. So the wind is definitely kicking up here in East Aurora. It's 72 degrees, 10 to 15 mile an hour sustained winds with gusts over 25 miles an hour now. And the probability of ignition is now 80. That is a measurement that helps determine how many sparks out of 100 would actually ignite a brush fire right now. And that number is 8 out of 10. Certainly with this wind, if a fire does start, the fire can spread very, very quickly, which is why we have brush trucks out on patrol and available to respond right away to hopefully keep any fires small.
Engine 7, Engine 4, brush truck 3, brush truck 15, battalion 4, battalion 1, and Wildland.
Check jump
You're
on
on an
6.
outside
Yeah.
brush fire in a park. Jewel Wetlands, East Jewel Avenue, South Potomac Street.
So we are responding on Brush 8 to a wildland fire in a park near Jewel and Potomac, and a second wildland fire was just dispatched in the southern part of the city. Engine 14 and Brush 13 are responding there right now.
I'm going to be assuming in Jewel Command. And looks like we have really unable to get a really good idea how big this is. We have open flaming in the middle of a heavily wooded area. There's going to be some access issues. We do have access to the area across the little bridge. If we can have the brush trucks come in and assist in getting a fire attack on this. Like I said, unsure of how big it is.
Engine 5, Engine 16, Engine 13, Ladder 2, Ladder 6 on a possible structure fire. Jewel Elementary, 14601 East Jewel Avenue. Engine 5, Engine 16, Engine 13, Ladder 2, and Ladder 6 on a possible structure fire, 14,601 East Jewel Avenue. Jewel Elementary, crosses South Sable Boulevard. TAC 4, please move to TAC 4. 1535.
So right now we're looking at a pretty significant head fire traveling in heavy timber in the trees. Brush 8 is going to deploy over here into this open space to try and prevent any spot fires from landing.
Medic 115, AIP, no fire at 1538.
Everybody out of the black area, out of the burn area, but if you have some spot fires that are starting to pop up on the other side of the path here.
What you see behind me is the head of the fire. That's where the concentration of heat is. This is the area that sometimes can be dangerous to work in front of, but in this case, we have this road that reinforces the natural fire break that is here. So firefighters are using hose lines to keep the ground fire from spreading to where I am right now. We're kind of at a flank where the head is actually right here. The head basically travels along with the wind. So you can see where Engine 7 positioned on the street. They're tied into a fire hydrant, so they have a water supply, and they advanced hose lines from the street down here into the open space because they can't reach this with their engine. So as we follow these hose lines, we're going to be coming up on what we would call the heel of the fire, or generally the area where the fire may have started, where they anchored in to start making their attack and flanking left and right. So this looks really nasty with the smoke blowing through here and embers, but the black is actually one of the safest places where we can be because this area has already burned. Now, the exception to that is up in this tree canopy where we worry that branches could fall. Many of these trees are actively burning and smoldering. Meanwhile, the other fire that's occurring down in South Aurora is way closer to structures, is a second alarm assignment, and firefighters are working to bring that one under control. So this incident is exceeding the available wildland resources, especially because of the second fire. South Adams County Fire is sending 2 brush trucks to this incident, and South Metro Fire has quite a few resources assisting us down at the Southern Fire.
So keep it out of the juniper, but we can just kind of baby it from the road if we don't want people in there.
So right now the left flank of the fire, because of a little bit of a wind shift, has really become the head of the fire. Smoldering embers in the trees have now spotted into the grass. So there's a moderate intensity grass fire making its way to the road that Brush Truck 8 is on. Again, because of the danger with the trees, we don't want to send firefighters in there. And because there's no property at risk here other than open space, we're going to let the fire burn to us and hold it at this road.
They received safety briefing. They're working on perimeter control in Division Alpha, Rank Division Alpha. We have ladder 16 assigned. Alpha Compound. Alpha Division being led by.
So what Willie's doing right here is direct attack. Direct attack at a flame front can be safely done if the flames are 4 feet or less in height because of the volume of heat that comes off of this. So even as far away as I am, I get blasts of heat that are just uncomfortable. And Willie's just going right in to try and knock some of that heat down, prevent the fire from getting into the tree here, and definitely before it can get into that juniper tree. If the juniper tree were to go up in flames, that would spread a lot of embers into the wind, and we'd have big problems over here in this open space.
Willie, listen. Hey, are you operating the hose line coming off 57? I did have crews on there, yes. Okay, just so they're aware, we've got fire prevention with rain both west and south towards the. Okay, I'll head over and also be advised there's a pedestrian in the park sitting on a bench.
Seeing fire and smoke like this close to home in your community can be alarming, and rightly so, but we want Aurora residents to be prepared, not scared, of what to do when emergencies happen. And one of the best things you can do is go to the city website, which is linked below in the video description, and sign up for Alert Aurora. That will give 911 dispatchers the ability to contact you by text message, email, on your mobile device or landline phone to let you know if there's an emergency that requires action on your part, meaning if you have to evacuate or shelter in place. We also have community risk reduction specialists available to talk to you about home fire safety and safety of your neighborhood for your HOA. One of the best things you can do as a property owner is focus on the home ignition zone. That's the first 0 to 5 feet around your structure, and make sure that there's nothing there that can burn, like mulch or dry grass, especially pine bushes, where embers or fireworks could land, start on fire, and spread to your home. These low intensity flames like you see behind me right now are often responsible for spreading into the mulch or grass around homes, and that can cause big problems. The trees that you see behind me, if they start burning, are often responsible for throwing embers. That ember cast into communities can be extremely dangerous and can spark little fires all over the neighborhood that can eventually spread to homes. So clearing your rain gutters of leaf and pine debris is really important, as well as clearing off your decks and especially the cracks between the deck space to make sure that nothing in there can burn.
Engine 11, did you copy? Yes, sir.
Well, it's just after 6 p.m., which means we have been here on scene for a few hours now. And based off of what you can see behind me, it's pretty obvious that this fire will not be extinguished tonight. That means that firefighters will remain here overnight. They're going to be especially watching for the wind blowing embers into the surrounding fields, making sure that there aren't any spot fires that start. And they'll also be watching the perimeter completely around this fire to make sure that there's no creeping ground fire in the leaves or grass that might extend and work their way out. You may have just heard a tree branch fall. I am in a safe location, but the further I get into this burn area, the more unsafe it becomes. And those tree branches can be very hazardous, cause injuries and even death to firefighters who are working in the area. So this incident certainly could have been worse had there been homes nearby, but the incident in Southlands was very troublesome as it burned up to many backyard fences. It's a very important reminder to be extra cautious on days like today when it's dry and windy, and avoid the use of anything that has sparks, heat, or open flames near vegetation, because it doesn't take much for something like this to happen. Well, as I make my way out of this incident scene, a kind chief is going to give me a ride back to my car so that I get to sleep comfortably at home tonight while the firefighters stay out here and do all of the hard work. I'm privileged to be their storyteller and bring all of these activities to you. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of what Aurora Fire Rescue does every day, please subscribe to the channel. And by all means, if you have questions, please let us know on our social media channels, or you can send me an email at afdpio@auroragov.org, and I would love to answer your questions, see your suggestions, and let me know what you want to see in future videos to learn more about these firefighters who protect the city of Aurora. With that, I hope you all stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.